This is the Relic Radio Show, old-time radio entertainment still standing the test of time, from relicradio.com. This week on the Relic Radio Show, our hour of radio drama begins with The Saint. We'll hear Greed Causes Murder, his story from August 14th, 1949. After that, it's Box 13 and Double Mothers. That episode aired October 10th, 1948.
The Adventures of the Saint, starring Vincent Price. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris and known to millions from books, magazines, and motion pictures. The Robin Hood of modern crime is now transcribed for radio, starring Hollywood's brilliant and talented actor Vincent Price as The Saint.
Help!
Come on.
No.
Hey, what's going on here?
This is my car here. No, stop it.
Hey, cut it out.
Stop it.
What's the idea? Now let that man alone.
Look, you keep out of this, buddy, or I'll... Well, that ain't the Saint.
It's euphonic, but slightly ungrammatical, Mac. Now, what's the disturbance?
They drew up alongside of my car. Him and the other fella. They said, get out. We're taking your car.
Why, Mac wouldn't do a thing like that. Now, would you, Mac?
Nah, of course not. The old man's nuts.
What Mac would do if he coveted his neighbor's jalopy is slug him with a piece of lead pipe and drive off.
Yeah, so good night. I got business.
Now, wait, Mac. You could satisfy my curiosity a little. Why should you want to steal this gentleman's old automobile when you've got nicer, newer ones to choose from?
Yes, ask him, mister. Ask him.
Yeah, ask me, Saint. Go ahead. And I'm going to satisfy a little curiosity of my own.
I didn't think you had any, Mac. What shape does it take?
I always wondered how you'd look dead. Good night, all.
Good night, Mac. Be seeing you?
You let him go.
Yes, he convinced me that I should for now. There's nothing like a .32 in the pocket of a known thug for winning an argument. Did you say there was another fellow with him?
Yes. Run off when he heard you coming. It was the same fella tried to buy my car yesterday.
Someone tried to buy this car?
Oh, sure. This fella tried to buy it. And there was a woman made an offer, too.
Did you mean you actually refused?
I ain't selling until I find out why they want to buy it so bad.
This fellow who tried to buy the car, do you know his name?
No, he looked like a gentleman until...
Until you found him consorting with felonious intent with our just-departed friend, eh? Tell me, was he well-dressed, an annoying little mustache placed just over the sneer he wears for a mouth?
Well, yes. Say, how did you...
That's easy. Our friend Mac does piecework for him. Fancy Dan Turner is his current alias. But I see you don't keep up with such things.
You're going to tell the police?
Later, perhaps, when there's something to tell them. Right now, I've got a great thirst that needs quenching. A thirst for knowledge.
Huh?
Yeah, what's your name and where do you live?
Collins. 302 East 8th Street.
Mm-hmm. Now, put your car in cold storage, old-timer, and take care of yourself. Something tells me this is Rat's night out. Hello, Smitty. Back making book, I see.
You got the wrong joint, Saint. Take a look around. I run a pool room. You interested in a horse?
No, a man.
Well, like I said, Saint, you got the wrong joint.
His name's Mac. He hangs out here. Now, where is he? In the back room?
I'm the three monkeys, Saint. Deaf, dumb, and blind. The only Mac I know is a truck.
Oh, then if you don't mind, I'd like to look in your back room and see if he's parked there.
I mind.
But you won't even know, Smitty. You're deaf, dumb, and blind.
Oh, have a heart, Saint. I ain't got no back room. And besides, last time you dropped in my place, a lot of my customers started patronizing elsewhere.
Including you, Smitty, remember?
I've only been back from the gray place a week, and I ain't forgetting it. Oh, come on, Saint. Be a good guy. Beat it, huh?
No, Smitty. Let him stay a while.
Hello, Mac.
I was hoping you were smart enough to go home and get some sleep.
How could I sleep with you out roaming the streets, Mac? You know how I worry.
Yeah, too much. What does he want, Smitty?
You.
Why, Saint?
I want to talk with Fancy Dan Turner.
What about?
Now, let's not be coy, Mac. It doesn't become you. I want to ask Turner why he's trying to steal a jalopy from an old man.
Well, what do you know? I got a surprise for you, Saint. I'll take it to him.
The boys say you're looking for me, Saint.
The boys are right.
So you found me. So?
I understand you're interested in a certain old car.
So what? Probably the Smiling Irishman is, too.
A broken down 1929 sedan seems a little slow for a fast man like you, Fancy Dan.
Well, maybe I like to go slow enough to read the billboards when I drive. What's it to you, Saint?
It depends on what it is to you, Turner. What's on the fire?
You are. There's a handle with care sign on this deal, and I don't want just anybody cutting in. You're a fowler-upper.
You've been stepping high and fancy-free too long, Turner. You're beginning to irritate me.
The feeling's likewise, Saint. Only I got more than fingers in my fist, and you haven't.
That's a nice gun you're so bravely wearing, Turner. It must be a pretty big pot to change a small-time con artist like you into a fire-breathing gunman. Big potatoes, huh?
Yeah, plenty big, Saint. So big I wouldn't hesitate to shoot at the slightest move. Am I clear?
You couldn't be clearer if you were a day ordered by the Chamber of Commerce.
Good. Now, it ain't a palace, Saint. It's just the back room of a pool parlor, but please stay and be my guest.
Oh, very well, for a little while anyway. Where are the boys?
Out.
They're wasting their time. Collins won't sell his old wreck. Some old men are stubborn. And Collins seems like a hard man to intimidate.
Well, that all depends on who's doing the intimidating, Saint. Now, Mac's a chowderhead and Smitty's even worse, but put the two boys together and you'll get a job of work done.
Dan, I've adopted old man Collins as a friend.
Ah, how big are you?
Yes. You know how I feel about people who push other people around, Turner? Especially when the guy getting the shoving is a friend.
You know, if I had a glass of beer, I'd cry into it. Sit back and relax, Saint. The boys will be back with what they want after soon enough, and maybe then I'll let you go home.
You mean they're coming back with the car?
Well, maybe not the whole car. Sit back and relax. Hey, relax. Hey, what are you doing?
Sitting back with my chair to the wall, Turner. You want me to relax, don't you?
Yeah, Hey, let go of that cue stick.
As my old grandmother used to say, Turner, there's nothing as relaxing as a game of pool. Particularly with a hoodlum's head as the cue ball. Collins, open up.
You wouldn't be from the police now, would you?
No, I'm no more a policeman than you are, old man Collins.
Come in and be welcome, then.
Where's Collins?
The old man, he's here.
Where?
Behind the sofa. But if you're of a mind to look at him, make it a quick look.
Dead?
Very.
How?
Every way. Beaten, stabbed, and tortured. Maybe even shot, for all I know.
Yes, and for all I know, maybe you've got a gun with an empty chamber, for all I know.
Bless me, no. Me business doesn't allow it.
Just what sort of business are you in, Irish?
The name's O'Brien.
Ah.
When a job is pulled and the police go after the boys who pull it, I make an end run and go after the swag, or at least part of it.
Oh, I see. What's the swag here? Collins' wallet?
Not unless there's 400 grand in it.
400? Oh, no, I'm afraid you'll find the old man a few cents short. Who killed him?
Not I.
How do I know?
You don't.
You're right. What brought you here?
Why, I'm here about the old car, of course.
You want to buy it?
Certainly, don't you? Say, maybe you're not being cute. Maybe you really don't know about the...
About what?
Well, now, I'm greatly relieved. When I first saw you come through that door, I said to myself, O'Brien, here comes some more competition. But I see you're not. I'm relieved, laddie. Greatly relieved.
Turner is competition enough, eh?
Yes, but Turner and his ugly ducklings are nothing compared to...
Who?
in time. I got here just a minute before you, laddie. The old man was dead when I arrived. Beyond that, I know nothing.
Get down. O'Brien! O'Brien!
Competition. Getting worse. All the time.
Look, I'll call the doctor.
No. Thanks, laddie. Lay off this frolic. He'll get you next. You're gonna die, mister. You're gonna...
O'Brien, the old man's car, what... Well, I guess I'll have to try another angle. This one's pretty dead.
I awakened Mr. Ritchie as you requested, Mr. Templar. He'll be right down.
Oh, thank you.
I hope the fire isn't too serious, sir.
Well, it's serious enough to awaken Mr. Ritchie.
Oh, here he is now, sir.
Well, which plant is the fire in? Who's responsible? How big is the damage?
Oh, the fire isn't in any plant, Mr. Ritchie.
What's that? Then where...
It's inside of me. I'm burning up, and I need your help.
How dare you sneak your way in here 3 o'clock in the morning by telling me there's a fire? Look here, who are you?
Simon Templar.
Oh, yes, the Saint. I've heard of you. If you have business with me, Mr. Templar, I'd suggest you phone my secretary for an appointment. Meanwhile, there's no subject on earth can keep me from going back to bed.
Not even the subject of $400,000, Mr. Ritchie?
What do you know about it?
Nothing, other than that it was stolen from you, Mr. Ritchie.
That happened 7 years ago. The criminal, John Qualey, was caught, tried, and convicted. Now, if you'll pardon me...
Qualey worked for you, I believe.
He was my head accountant.
And the money was never found?
No. Qualey drew 20 years in the penitentiary. He never revealed where the money was hidden. Until the day he died.
Died?
Yes. 2 weeks ago in prison. And now, Mr. Templar, if you don't mind, I need my rest.
I won't detain you much longer, Mr. Ritchie. Just 1 or 2 more questions.
Well?
Did Qualey have a wife?
Yes, he did.
If he knew he were dying in prison, it's quite possible he made an attempt to get word to her, to tell her where the money was hidden.
He may have made the attempt, but he couldn't possibly have succeeded. He was too closely watched.
Oh.
After all, $400,000 is a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yes, you could almost buy a second-hand car with it.
If I hadn't been fully covered by insurance, my firm would have gone under in the face of a loss that large. And now, Mr. Templar, if I might ask a question.
Certainly.
Why this sudden urgency, this 3 o'clock in the morning business?
An old man was tortured to death. Then a fellow named O'Brien, who came calling on the old man, was shot to death.
But
before he was killed, O'Brien told me he was tracking down $400,000 that had been stolen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and some checking back over how many people have ever had that amount stolen from them.
Led you to me.
Yes.
I wonder what I've led you to, Mr. Templar.
I wonder, Mr. Ritchie. I wonder.
Yes? What is it?
Mrs. Qualey?
What do you want?
Several things, Mrs. Qualey.
Like what?
A murderer.
You've got the wrong apartment, mister.
An old automobile.
No sale. Anything else?
Maybe you'll buy this, Mrs. Qualey. Collins was murdered a little while ago.
Collins? Oh, the old man. Why?
Someone wanted his car. Someone who evidently couldn't wait any longer for the newer models.
So?
So I saw Collins' car in your garage, Mrs. Qualey.
Maybe you better come in after all, mister. But come in careful.
Careful enough?
Keep those hands high.
Sure.
I don't like you, mister. You're nailing together a frame and you're trying to put my picture into it. Collins sold me that car.
When?
Tonight. I could have bought a Cadillac for cheaper, mister, but I wasn't in any position to haggle.
Yes, I know.
What do you know? That's what I want to find out.
I know that Collins' car is worth about $20, but as something else, it's worth in the neighborhood of $400,000. And you know that's an awfully nice neighborhood.
Nice and exclusive. Chiselers aren't invited to move in.
I've been gathering that impression all evening. Well, what have we here?
You name it.
An acetylene torch, welder's mask, a few chisels, a hammer, steel wire. Either you've gone to work for Henry Kaiser, or the hand that customarily rocks the cradle is going in for rocking a safe.
I had to go into a hardware store to make a phone call, and I just couldn't leave without buying a few things.
How fortunate you didn't make your call in an establishment that sells steamrollers. Yeah, I see you have a set of license plates.
You see too much.
From Collins Jalopy, aren't they? These license plates. So that's how Quayle smuggled out his message.
You're getting awfully close to a bullet in your head, mister. Give me those plates.
Shh, there's someone at the door.
Stay where you are. I'll see who it is.
Better not take the license plates with you.
Yes? Oh!
Mrs. Quayle!
Oh!
Mrs.
The devil! He got the plates.
Yes, he got them.
Don't let him. Oh, catch him there.
Where? Where?
Where Johnny worked. Shaft. Top. Before 6.
Mrs. Quayle. Collins, O'Brien, and now I have 3 reasons for wanting to meet a certain party. Taxi! Hey, taxi!
They don't stop sometimes when it's so early in the morning, Saint, because they're on the way back to the garage.
Well, what brings you out so early, Mac? Looking for a drunk to roll?
Just looking for you, Saint, just looking for you. See here what I got in my hand?
Oh, there goes that coy streak in you again, Mac. All right, so it's a gun. Well, what does it want me to do? Come, go, turn handsprings, quote Shelley, play the bassoon? You have to speak for it, Mac.
Very funny. Look out, it shouldn't speak for itself, Saint. I and the gun warn you should get in that there car.
You have a most persuasive way of offering a fellow a lift, Mac.
Yeah, a lift. Right now, it's a lift. Later on, it may grow into a ride. Come on.
Where are we going, Mac?
Back to our little gray home in the rear of the pool room, Saint. Fancy Dan Turner wants he should thank you for showing him a new trick.
Oh, it really isn't necessary.
He feels like it is, Saint. He feels like it is. He's got a couple of tricks he wants to show you.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, on into the car, Jim. Turner's waiting. He's got very little patience.
Nice to have you back with us, Saint. I missed you.
From the looks of that bandage on your skull, Turner, I'll bet you wished I'd missed you.
Not now, I don't, Saint. It's a nice feeling having you here, knowing that I owe you something. I pay my debts, Saint. I pay off.
Yes, I know. O'Brien was paid off. So was Mrs. Quayle. Paid off with lead checks.
They're dead?
Oh, now save that innocent expression for the jury, Turner. You'll need everything you've got.
Well, when were they killed, Saint?
Okay, I'll stooge for you. They were killed an hour or 2 after I so abruptly left you before.
Oh, well, I'll have to find another pigeon, Saint. My alibi's fat.
How fat, Turner?
City Hospital. Having Remember the Saint embroidered where a cue stick hit me. And Smitty and Mac were there, too, to see me through it. Hospitals have records, Saint. We're clean. We're clean.
Huh. Then you've got a competitor you don't know about, Turner.
Yeah, looks that way. For a job that was supposed to be as simple as this one, I got too many competitors. I wonder how come.
Who fingered the job for you, Turner? Who told you Quayle got word out to his wife about where the money was?
I got nothing for you, Saint.
Smitty, wasn't it? Smitty just finished a stretch up the creek. My guess is he ran into Quayle, maybe shared a cell with him.
No. It was in the jail hospital they met. Smitty worked there. Quayle was dying off his nut. Smitty made him talk.
Yeah. And Smitty, not being mentally suited for solo work, spilled the pitch to you, Turner, for a price, of course, for money on the line.
Yeah, 10 G's to buy in on a $400,000 job. But what are you driving at? What are you picking Smitty's bones for?
I was just wondering, Turner, how much O'Brien paid Smitty for his slice of this exclusive information, and how much your other competitors shelled out. The one who happily goes around killing people.
What do you mean?
If you ask me, Turner, your pal Smitty is the sort of rat that even rats on rats. He sold Quayle's secret 3 times that we know of.
Hey, thanks for handicapping it for me, Saint.
If you're really grateful, Turner, you can return the favor by telling me what time is it?
It's 5:15 in the morning, Saint, but you ain't going nowhere.
I have a date to keep before 6, Turner, with your competitor.
Yeah, Saint, that's what you think.
Maybe not, Turner. What do you say we play a little pool while we're waiting for the boys?
Get away from that pool table. I ain't playing any games with you, Saint.
Well, maybe pool was the wrong game. How about a game of pitch and catch?
What?
Yeah, I pitch like this. Oh! And you catch it like that. Hate to leave you all by yourself there in the side pocket, but like I said, I have a date to keep. Well, Mr. Ritchie, get enough sleep despite my interruption?
I wasn't really asleep when you called on me, Mr. Templar.
I know, Mr. Ritchie. Your hair was a little too carefully combed for a man who's been suddenly awakened and told he's having a fire.
You're very clever, Mr. Templar.
But not clever enough to catch you before you committed 3 murders. So you're Smitty's silent partner, huh? See what low company's gotten you into, Ritchie?
Yes, I see. $400,000 buried in the siding of this elevator shaft. And with the help of this acetylene torch, it'll be all mine. A very ingenious fellow, Quayle. And to think the money never left this building.
The place where Johnny worked. Yes, he was ingenious. It was very smart of him to use his prison job making automobile license plates as a means of smuggling out the information to his wife. How did he do it, Ritchie?
Very simple, Templar. There's an extra piece of thin metal in this particular plate, forming a sort of pocket. And inside the pocket, a note on cigarette paper telling poor Mrs. Quayle how to get the money. Of course, once he managed to tell her the number of the license plate, well, the rest was easy, wasn't it?
Yes. All poor Mrs. Quayle had to do was ask the Motor Vehicle Bureau to whom the plate was assigned. Mr. Collins, in this instance.
Poor old fellow. Mr. Templar, would you mind joining me here in the shaft, please? Yes, right on top of the elevator. I'd like to keep an eye on you while I finish burning out this metal partition. You see, I've only until 6 o'clock when this elevator is switched on downstairs.
Oh, well, I...
Come, in the shaft, please.
Well, really,
I have a gun, Mr. Templar.
Oh, well, that makes it official, then.
There we are. Careful, Mr. Templar. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Anything accidental, that is.
You know, it's funny. I've known you such a short time, and I have exactly the same sentiments towards you. I've never been astride the top of an elevator before, Ritchie. And we're right near the top of the shaft.
Yes. I don't mean to worry you, Templar, but when this elevator power turns on in a few minutes, it will rise to the top before it descends.
How's your treasure hunt coming, Ritchie?
Almost finished. One last strip of metal to cut away, and the partition will come off. Then we'll decide your fate, Mr. Templar. Your future. Here goes. A last blow. It's there. It's there. I see it. $400,000 in currency, Templar. Think of it. Think of it.
You think of it, Ritchie, and also think of how much blood was spilled on it.
Preaching, Templar? You? I never thought. What's that?
The elevator, Ritchie. Maybe it came to work a little early today.
My money. My money.
Come on, Ritchie. Come on, get off.
No, there's still some money left here. I want it. I want it all. All.
Come on, we've got to get off. Jump, Ritchie, jump.
No, my money. I must save the money.
Ritchie, you fool.
All right, I got it.
Yes, Ritchie. You saved your money, and you saved the state some money, too. I'm sure you didn't plan on saving the cost of your execution.
You have been listening to another adventure of the Saint, the Robin Hood of modern crime. And now, here is our star, Vincent Price.
These immortal words of Ovid, translated from the Latin, express quite well indeed the justice of our Mr. Ritchie's fate. Nor is there any juster law than that the contrivers of death should perish by their own contrivances. This is Vincent Price inviting you to join us again next week at this same time for another exciting adventure of the Saint. Good night.
Tonight's script of The Saint was written by Michael Cramoy. Our cast included Laureen Tuttle, Barney Phillips, Tony Barrett, Fred Howard, and Dan O'Herlihy. The music was composed and conducted by Harry Zimmerman. The Saint is a James L. Safier production and was transcribed and directed by Thomas A. McAbiddy. All you Saint fans will be glad to know that the Saint comic books are on sale at all newsstands. Your announcer, Merrill Ross. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Box 13. Box 13. Box 13.
They stood in the warm rays of the autumn sun while the wind played in the girl's hair. Oh, no, not that. Susie,
Hello, Mr. Holliday. Oh, no, not what?
I'm referring to the story I'm writing.
Better forget the story, Mr. Holliday. I've got mail for you.
So, what's new in Box 13?
Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday. Now for Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Let's see. Where was I? Oh. But Betty forgot her dignity as she fell and bumped her head against the tree which stood nearby. Oh, brother.
Mr. Holliday,
What's that, Susie?
I said that maybe the mail from Box 13 might give you an idea. Today there were 2 letters.
2?
Yes, One of them is a big, fat envelope.
Now, who in the world would send me a big, fat envelope?
The police department. It's a block of tickets for their annual ball.
What's the other one?
This one smells all romantic-like. It has the odor of Christmas night. Or, maybe it's Easter morn.
Or maybe it's Tuesday afternoon. Here, let's have it. If you will really do anything, what I have to ask is very, very little. Please meet me in North Park at 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be waiting at the bench near the entrance to the bridle path. Signed, Anonymous.
It couldn't have been very romantic, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, why not, Susie?
I don't see stars in your eyes.
We'll take another look, Susie. Tonight at 10 o'clock. An anonymous note. A rendezvous in the park at night. Well, I must admit it's better than the yarn I was writing. At least it's got a good start. The question is, what's the ending? Well, this is the park, and the clock says 10. And there's the bench at the end of the bridle path. And that's all there is. Hey, wait a minute. Is that? No, it couldn't be. A little girl, sound asleep, nobody else around. What's she doing out here alone this time of night? Little girl. Wake up, little girl. Wake up.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Sandman came when I was supposed to stay awake.
Now, what are you doing here?
Waiting?
But aren't you cold?
No, I'm not cold. I have a nice new coat. See?
Yes, it's very pretty. But for whom are you waiting?
I'm waiting for the man.
What man?
He comes out of a box. It has a number.
Oh, no. You don't mean Box 13?
Yes, that's it. How did you know?
Because I'm the man.
Oh, I'm so glad. You're nice. Oh, I like you lots.
Well, thanks. Who told you about the man from Box 13?
One of my mothers.
Mothers? You've got more than one?
Of course, I got 2.
You're a very remarkable little girl. How do you happen to have 2 mothers?
I don't know. Just happened, I guess.
What's your name?
Janie,
I mean, what's your other name?
I promised I wouldn't tell.
Now, whom did you promise?
My mother?
Oh, your mother. The first one or the second one?
The first one, naturally.
Forgive me, I'm so stupid tonight. Where do you live, Janie?
Oh, I got 2 homes, and I couldn't find either one.
That's great. Look, Janie, what are you going to do?
I'm going with you because I like you, and I promised I would.
So that's it. Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to take you to the police station.
My mother said you wouldn't.
Why wouldn't I?
My mother said you were a nice man who was smarter than any policeman ever was.
Janie, flattery will get you nowhere.
What's flattery?
That's something you've probably already learned from your mother. Now, do you know where you live?
Sure, I live in the house.
And do you know where the house is?
Well, first you have to walk down this block to Jack Black's drugstore.
Well, come on.
And then we get to the drugstore. We turn left and walk a block.
Oh, that's where you live.
No. That's the corner where Johnson's toy shop is.
Now, Janie.
And then we turn right and go 2 blocks.
That's home.
That's where the ice cream parlor is.
Now, stop that, Janie, and tell me how to get to your home.
Well, you walk half a block up that street. That's home.
Oh, that's your home.
No, that's David's home.
So you're not going to tell me where you live, is that it?
I think maybe you'd better look at my book first. It's Grimm's Fairy Tales. Only they're not grim at all. They're nice.
You want me to read to you? At 10 o'clock at night? You know, young lady, it's way past your bedtime.
No, I want you to read the letter that's in my book. Mommy said to tell you about it.
Letter? Here, let me see that. Well, how do you like this? Please take care of my little Janie for me. I shall communicate with you in a little while. Let no one, even the police, take her away. Believe me when I say you're doing nothing illegal. Just helping out. Her mother.
You're nice. I like your voice. What's your name?
Dan. A sucker, if there ever was one. Well, this is not good. A small girl left in your care with no more authority than a letter. Suppose the woman who wrote this letter isn't Janie's real mother. Then, Holiday, you're in trouble. But suppose she is the real mother. Why should she leave her child with a perfect stranger? Why? Well, there's only one thing to do. Take her to your apartment. Come on, Janie girl, let's go. Let's hope that the neighbors won't see you bringing home a little girl. Because that happens to be one item you don't win at a bingo game. Put her down on the couch, Holiday. That's it. Never knew a kid could have so much strength in her arms, did you? Feels kind of good, too. Better get a blanket to put over. Better yet, stupid, put her in your bed. Well, Holiday, it looks like you're sleeping on the couch tonight. I wonder who she is and what this is all about. Hello?
Dan Holliday?
Yes?
The man from Box 13?
Yes?
How's my little girl? Did you get home all right?
How did you get my phone number?
That's not important.
How do you know who I am?
Please, how is my little girl?
She's asleep.
Oh, thank heavens.
I heard the bell ringing.
She just woke up.
Is she all right?
She's fine, but...
I want a fairy tale.
Just a minute, honey. How long will it take you to get over here?
I can't come over there now. I'm afraid to.
Lady, which mother are you?
I don't understand you.
She says she's got 2.
I'm her real mother.
Well, then get over here and take her.
I can't explain now, but please, Mr. Holliday, keep her just for a few days.
A few days?
And don't give her up to anyone, not even the police.
Now, how do I know this is on the level?
You don't. You'll just have to trust me. I promise you'll never regret it.
I don't like any part of this, except Janie.
You'll understand soon, Mr. Holliday. And remember, be very careful. Both Janie and you are in danger.
You're right, our Holiday. How do you like this plot? A mother gives a little girl to a strange man, warning him not to give the child up to anyone, not even the police. And then she admits there's danger. Janie.
I broke the lamp. I broke the lamp.
Oh, that's all right, baby. Are you hurt?
I didn't mean to. I wanted my fairy tale book.
No, don't cry, honey. That was a nasty old lamp anyway. All it did was throw off a lot of light.
You're a nice man. Are you my daddy?
No, Janie.
My daddy went away when I was a baby. Why can't you be my daddy?
It's getting late, honey. Aren't you sleepy?
Not anymore. Read me a fairy tale, Daddy.
In the morning, Janie. Now, you'd better get to bed.
Have you got a doll?
No, I'm sorry. No doll.
Teddy bear?
No teddy bear.
You must be awful lonesome.
Maybe you've got something there, little lady.
Daddy, tell me a fairy story.
All right, honey. Let's see now. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. The papa bear, the mama bear,
And the baby bear. I know that story.
Okay, now let's see. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Red Riding Hood,
And the wolf ate up her grandmother. I know that one, too.
Janie, maybe you should tell me the stories. Oh, let's see. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack who planted a bean seed, and it grew up into a mighty tall vine, and
he climbed into the sky and killed a bad giant. I know that one, too.
Saved by the bell.
Hello, Holiday.
Oh, Lieutenant Kling. Holiday, you're in a jam. Lieutenant Kling of the police department doesn't drop in on people unless there's trouble. Watch your step, boy.
Well, aren't you going to ask me in?
Oh, sure. Come in, Lieutenant.
That's better.
Anything wrong?
Well, that's what I dropped in to find out. When you stay out of the department's hair for more than 2 weeks, I begin to worry.
Haven't been doing a thing, Lieutenant. Not a thing.
Besides, I want to know if you got those tickets to the ball.
Hello.
Yeah. What's this?
A little girl.
Oh, thanks, Holiday. What's your name, young lady?
Vicky. Vicky Preston.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
It isn't? Holiday.
Great little kid. Her dandy sense of humor likes to pretend she's somebody else.
All children do.
Who is he, Daddy?
Daddy? Holiday, my boy.
See what I mean?
Who is he, Daddy?
He's a cop. A policeman, honey. Lieutenant Kling.
Oh, I like policemen.
And I like little girls. Got 2 of them myself. Is the writing business slow these days, Holiday?
How do you mean?
Oh, I thought you might be picking up a few bucks babysitting.
Oh, yes. Just helping out a friend.
I could use you sometime. My wife and I like to get out every now and then. What's your price to sit with my kids?
That depends. Are your children anything like you?
Now, Holiday.
Oh, I'm just asking. Glad to accommodate any time.
Well, see you around, Holiday.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Your hands are shaking.
Never mind, Janie. It's time you went to sleep. There's something about a kid asleep. Maybe I'm glad this happened. Got to use more kids in my stories after this. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have one around all the time. What am I saying? Now what? Lay off, you'll wake the kid.
You Dan Holiday?
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like to come inside and talk with you.
If you don't mind, I'd rather talk out in the doorway.
Very well, I'll be direct. You have a little girl here named Janie, about 5 years old.
Why?
My name is Sam Parker. That mean anything?
No.
I've got a letter here authorizing me to take the little girl away.
You're her father?
Read the letter, then hand over the child.
No.
Very well, I'll call the police.
I wish you would. Can I use the phone down the hall?
I'm sorry about this. But get inside there and keep your hands over your head.
Put down that gun. What do you think you're pulling?
Shut up and get inside. Oh, there she is.
Put down that gun, I said.
She comes with me, Holiday. Just keep those hands high.
And I said she's staying here.
Move over to that wall.
Stay away from her, I said.
One more move and you...
Think so.
Harry! Harry, help! Hit him with the gun, Harry, now.
I got him.
You are listening to Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holiday. Box 13, starring Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Nice going, Holliday. Very nice. You advertise in the newspaper for adventure and you get a little girl. Then you lose her to a man with a gun. You don't even know the mother's name or where she is. Now what?
Mr. Holliday, I'm Wanda Parker, Janie's mother. Is she all right?
You're the woman who called me on the phone?
Yes. My baby, where is she?
You're a fine one to be asking that after you leave her alone on the park bench.
I was there hiding. I saw you take... Where is she?
You shouldn't have let her go in the first place.
Mr. Holliday, where is she?
She's not here.
Not here. What have you done with my daughter?
You're her real mother?
Of course I am. Where is she? What's happened?
A man came in.
And you let him take the child?
I'm sorry, there was nothing I could do. He had a friend and a gun. They knocked me out. When I came to, Janie was gone.
This man, did he have black hair and very thick eyebrows?
Yes, he said his name was Parker.
Oh, no, it couldn't be. Mr. Holliday, we've got to get her back right away.
Before I do anything, you're going to tell me a few things. Then we'll decide.
Who's that?
I don't know. Right now, I wouldn't even care to guess.
Is there a back door? Can I get out without being seen?
Yeah, through the kitchen. There's a door leads out into the hall. What are you afraid of?
Holliday, open the door.
Do you know who that is?
Yes, a police officer, Lieutenant Kling.
I mustn't see me. I'll call you later.
All right, I'm coming.
What took you so long to open the door?
Can't a man get some sleep?
With your shoes on?
My feet are cold.
Get inside. All right, Miss Hatton.
Are you sure this is the man, Lieutenant? Do you think he could have taken Janie away?
I'm not sure of anything, but what you told me, he's just the type that could dream up a little nightmare like this.
Lieutenant, mind telling me what this is all about?
I'm Mrs. Hatton, and I'm Janie's mother. I want her right this minute.
Janie's mother? You're Janie's mother?
Lieutenant Kling, if this man has my little Janie, make him give her up right this minute.
Come on, Holliday, where is she?
Or who?
You know what I want, that little girl you had here half an hour ago. Janie Parker.
Me? I had a little girl? Up here?
Holliday.
Yes, Lieutenant.
I came up here to see you. I was worried about you. I didn't know how right I was.
And I appreciated your interest.
Shut up. When I came up here, there was a little girl around. Now, where is she?
Kling, you have my word. I don't know.
Maybe you could remember down at headquarters.
I can't remember something I didn't know in the first place.
He doesn't look like the type who would have taken Janie.
Well, thank you. Now, Mrs. Hatton, if you'd tell me what this is all about, maybe I could help you.
My little girl disappeared tonight. I was frantic. I called the police.
I got the report right after I'd up here to see you, Holliday. From the description, I'd say you had Janie Parker right here.
But you're not sure.
Maybe you'd like to prove to me where you got the little girl I saw up here, eh? Come on, tell me.
Lieutenant, you'd never believe me.
Then where is that little girl now? Can you tell me that?
No, I can't. But suppose I produced the girl and you found out it wasn't the same one.
Holliday, what are you driving at?
I just want a chance to produce the girl. How about it, Kling?
I think you're pulling another one of your fast shenanigans. I ought to lock you up. But I'm inclined to give you a chance.
What kind of a chance?
I'm giving you 3 hours to find that little girl.
3 hours?
Then I'll be back, Holliday. So don't try anything funny.
Lieutenant, at the moment, I have practically no sense of humor left. At least you're not in jail, Holliday. The good lieutenant walked out with Mrs. Hatton. You're as free as a bird on the wing for 3 hours. If you were as smart as that bird, you'd wing out of town until this blows over.
Mr. Holliday.
You.
They've gone?
You been listening?
Yes, at the kitchen door.
Now, look, if you're Janie's mother and Mrs. Hatton is Janie's
Mr.
mother...
Holliday, there's no time to explain.
Wait a minute. Then who is Sam Parker?
He's not Sam Parker. He's Sam Clark.
Oh, I see. Because Janie has two mothers, Sam Parker turns out to be Sam Clark. What are you giving me?
I can clear up the whole thing, but we've got to get Janie away from Sam Clark first. Otherwise, I may never see her again.
How do you go about finding a man named Sam Clark in a city this size?
He doesn't live here, but I heard he drove his car down. That means he's probably staying at Brown's Motel.
Uh-huh. I think I'll drop out and pay him a visit.
I'll go with you.
No, I don't think that's wise. I'm going alone.
Mr. Holliday...
He carries the gun. You stay here.
You'll get her. You'll bring Janie back.
I'll try my best.
I'll be waiting.
After that, I'll spend a quiet weekend with a psychiatrist. This is it. Brown's Motel. Now, to find a man named Sam Clark or Sam Parker. Ask the manager. That's logical. So he is here. Well, what do you do now, Holiday? You knock on the door, Sam Clark will stick a gun in your ribs. There'll be a fight, and Janie might get hurt. The telephone. That's how to do it. Remember to thank the man who invented outdoor phone booths. There it is. Brown's Motel. This is one time you'd better be right, Holiday. Because if you're wrong, you're dead. And that's so permanent.
Brown's Motel?
I want to speak to Mr. Clark.
I don't know. He said he didn't want to be disturbed.
It's a matter of life and death. Get him to the phone.
Who is this?
Hurry, man. I've only got a couple of minutes.
Okay, I'll see.
Now, quick, Holiday. Out of the booth and around the corner towards the back. Wait. Now. Take it easy. Here he comes. Now, Holiday, just slip around to the side of the booth where you won't be seen.
Hello? 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 What kind of gag is this?
No gag at all, Mr. Clark.
Oh.
That'll take care of him long enough for me to straighten this all out.
Did you bring my fairy tale book?
Honey, I want you to tell me the truth. You know what the truth is?
Of course I do, Daddy.
Then tell me quickly. That man who brought you here, is he your real daddy?
Oh, no. He's not my real daddy. Besides, I don't like him.
Well, come on, Janie. We're getting out of here right now. I hope that's Lieutenant Kling and Mrs. Hatton.
So, Holiday, you brought her back.
Yeah, I brought her back.
Oh, Janie, my baby.
Mommy!
I thought I'd lost you. I thought I'd never see you again. Mr. Holliday, I saw these people come in. Did you... Janie.
Mommy!
Janie.
No, wait a minute. What is this?
These are my two mummies.
Holiday, would you mind explaining this little two-mother soiree you've cooked up?
Lieutenant, I think you'd better listen to what Mrs. Parker has to say.
I'd like to listen to anyone who can make sense out of this highly confusing little situation. Anyone but you, Holiday.
Thanks. Go on, Mrs. Parker. She's Janie's mother.
Well, then who are you, Mrs. Hatton?
Kling, let Mrs. Parker explain, will you?
Yes, please do, Mrs. Parker.
My husband's been dead for some time. I've been working out of town so I could take care of Janie. I placed her in a foundling home for the year I'd be gone. And I'm a foster mother, Lieutenant. The foundling home paid me to take care of Janie.
But you two have never met, eh?
That's right, Kling. Is it beginning to make sense?
No. If neither of these two ladies had the child, who did?
A man named Sam Parker who turned out to be Sam Clark.
Holiday, will you cut that out?
Sam Clark is my husband's cousin. He's been trying to take Janie away from me legally.
That bothers me, Mrs. Parker. Why would he do that?
Because there's an inheritance coming to her from her grandparents. He hopes to prove me negligent and get her custody. That way he can control the estate.
And that's where I came.
You see, I took Janie from Mrs. Hatton's house. I wanted to hide her. I read Mr. Holliday's ad. I gave her to him.
You gave her a child, a Holiday? Oh, lady, you didn't know what you were doing.
No, just to keep until it was safe, until I could get matters straightened out with the court.
Well, now I'm beginning to see the light. You satisfied, Mrs. Hatton?
Of course. I'd never try to keep Janie from her mother.
Thank heaven for that. So I guess it's all wound up, eh, Holiday?
Oh, no. Not yet. There's more.
Holiday, if you've got one more ramification up that sleeve of yours...
I could hardly get Sam Clark up my sleeve. But I've got a hunch he should be here any minute.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Answer the door, Holiday.
I'd suggest a gun in your hand, Lieutenant.
Gun? What for?
Oh, don't ask silly questions. Come in, Mr. Clark.
Get your hands up. We've got something to settle.
Meet Lieutenant Kling of the police department.
What? Oh!
That's a nice right you've got, Holiday. Pick up his gun.
Thanks, Lieutenant. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Holliday, how can I ever thank you?
Very easily. Just bring little Janie up to see me occasionally.
I certainly shall.
Oh, by the way, I have a suggestion for you two ladies. I think I know how you can both keep Janie.
But how? What do you mean, Mr. Holliday?
Suppose you, Mrs. Parker, continue with your work. Janie could stay at Mrs. Hatton's, and so could you.
Oh, Mrs. Parker, if you only would. I think that's simply wonderful.
Mommy.
Yes?
He fixed it so I can keep my two mummies, didn't he?
Yes, he did, darling.
And would you be my real daddy?
Well, now, Janie, you see, it's like this.
Let's see you get out of that holiday.
And would you tell me a fairy story?
Oh, no, you don't catch me on that one. I'll write you one.
Mr. Holliday, I think you ought to know that... Oh, what a cute little girl. Who are you, little girl?
I'm Janie, and this is my daddy.
Why, Mr. Holliday, you never told me.
Now, look, Susie, Janie means I'm her daddy. Well, just sort of imaginary.
What's imaginary about being a father?
Sit down, Susie. I'll tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you a story.
Boy, oh boy, I'll bet this is going to be good.
Next week, same time, Alan Ladd stars as Dan Holliday in Box 13. Alan Ladd appears through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures and may currently be seen in Wild Harvest. Box 13 is written and directed by Ted Hediger. Original music is composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker. This is a Mayfair production.
That's it for the Relic Radio Show for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. You can find more from The Saint, Box 13, past episodes of this podcast, all the others, lots to listen to at relicradio.com. Thousands of episodes there to enjoy for free, and our Shoutcast stream, and it is all free thanks to your support. If you'd like to help out, visit donate.relicradio.com or click on one of the links on the website. You've made it happen for 15 years. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. Be back next Tuesday with another episode of the Relic Radio Show.